Yeah, so like I said, tell you a little bit of story about Dan. How many people you know who Dan is? Some people, yeah, but okay. So Dan, walk me through the process a little bit on working with these people, what you run through, how you helping them develop all the copy and that kind of stuff, and what you're looking for when you're looking at offer. Someone gives you a product and you start developing it out.
Yeah, so when someone gives me a product, the first thing I do is not think about the copy. I think about the offer. So the offer and the product is like two different things, because the offer consists of your promise, your mechanism, your offer stack, bonuses, all risk reversal, all these things. So I'm going to give you a very good example. So let's say some fitness guy comes to you and he says, I'll guarantee that you'll lose like 10 kilos in 30 days and I'll get you a six pack. So you'll be like, oh my God, 30 days, like sign me up. And then he says, okay, you need to go to the gym every single day, work out 7 days a week, eat chicken, broccoli, and rice, and sleep 8 hours a day. You'll be like, what the no, I don't want to do that. Because even though he can promise you 10 kilos in 30 days, the thing itself just sucks. There's no way to position that product in a way where it will sell. I hope you guys understand what I mean.
Yeah, I see it every day. I see that copy every day.
Yeah.
People get mad at JVZoo, and then I watch the VSL and I'm like, yeah, you missed the whole point.
So I think that would be like the main thing when I look at a product, especially you guys who do software. If you do software, I always look at it from a lens of the effort. So when I create an offer, I use my framework, which is called the effort line. Okay, I've never shared this before. So imagine a line from 0 to 10. So 0 being you do not need to do anything. The buyer does not need to do anything to get their outcome. So, and on the right-hand side, which is 10, is they need to do a lot of work and a lot of effort to get the same outcome. So to give you an example again, just now we did the weight loss thing, which is if you need to work out every day and eat chicken, broccoli, and rice every day, that will be on a 10. So the buyer gets the result, but the effort is way high. And a 0 would be something like a weight loss supplement. I'm not saying they work, I'm just saying why they sell, before you come at me. Okay? So there's a reason why one thing always sells and one doesn't. And when you sell software, you want to think of what my buyer does not need to do in order to get that same outcome. So what does it take away? How much effort does it take away from their side to make sure it sells? From their side to make sure they get their outcome. So if you have a software now, and let's say, let's say give it a course or something. Let's say a Facebook ads course. And let's say the Facebook course, you put it in a PDF. That would be like an effort level of 10. Because the buyer needs to read it, implement it, everything is on their own. And then if you make it into a video course with some like resources and stuff, that may be a 7. Now, how do you make it a 5? So a 5 would just be adding a unique mechanism. So if you tell them you can run ads in 5 minutes a day, that will immediately drop the effort to a 5. How do you drop it to a 3? So you add a swipe file of 100 ad templates, you give them more resources, you give them an AI bot. So you want to make these, like they get the same outcome, but you make it as easy as possible for them to get that outcome. And that will reduce the effort needed, and you'll sell way more units, especially on paid traffic. Because I do a lot of cold traffic. If you want it to sell, you just think your buyer is less lazy as fuck. Like that's basically how I think of it. Like, yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's the key. I think what we see a lot too, even on the nutraceutical side too, like well, nutrition's really big for us. There's a lot of guys in this group who talk way more about it than I do. But as you see with Chip Offers and Eagle Labs here too, like I see people sell that product that comes out of Eagle Labs, right? That weight loss one. And I see one offer that absolutely dominates and one that doesn't. But it's technically selling the same product with the same ingredients. And that's the biggest thing, is they're not removing enough obstacles on the VSL. That's why some of these VSLs are 30 to 40 minutes long. That's one of the questions like we get asked a lot is, how long should my VSL be? Like, do I need a tech sales letter? Like, all these questions that come in, they're kind of the wrong questions. It's like, it's not how many things do you need to say to get it down to an effort, like the lowest possible effort. Because when I read, especially on the lower side of stuff with software, when I read those VSLs, listen to those VSLs, all I hear is all of the things the customer can do, which seems cool, but all the customer is thinking is, shit, I've got to do so much stuff to actually use this tool because it does too much. Like all the nutricide that you guys have probably seen, especially people in the nutri field, there's this jelly craze that's going on, jelly big, jelly fit, jelly lighting. I I'm losing, I don't know how many jellies we can get to, but we can get to a lot. And, normally it's just a couple of drops in your, and it's like basically bravery. Like it's an old school thing that does work, but, you've got to go to the gym, you've got to have that exercise stuff. So the VSL is all about low effort. You know what I mean? You wake up, you put it in your coffee, you wake up, put it in your water, you put it in your pre-workout, whatever it is, and that just takes it away, right? And then you do that sort of stuff. So another thing that I really want to touch on is how you develop different VSLs, different marketing, and still sell the same product over and over and over again. Because I think that's what a lot of people in this room get. Even on the Nutra side, like there's so many people on Nutra side that do not develop like specific angles. Like they push the weight loss, but they're not targeting directly to stay-at-home moms, or they're not targeting directly to people with a busy schedule. Like these high volume markets of people that these media buyers that run your ads as affiliates, like it's so much easier for them to scale when they can target certain people. So stay-at-home moms, like people with busy schedules, men over 50, all that kind of stuff. So a lot of you guys will build one hook and then just be completely stuck. And when that one doesn't work.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so I do that a lot. So we take the same product, we sell it differently. It's very common. And the reason is, I'm going to give you an example. So Philip Johansson, I think, who knows Philip here? Okay. So he is a plumber from Denmark, right? And when we put him on VSLs, when we use his ads and his story, guess who we attract? Blue collar workers. That's who Philip, because that's who he is. So what we did was, okay, this helps a lot of stay-at-home moms too, the product itself, where he sells affiliate marketing. But when we put Philip as the face of it, they don't resonate with him at all. So we were like, okay, can we make this more of like we want to target the stay-at-home moms. And on Instagram, it's easier to do that because a lot of women are on Instagram and they buy stuff. So we started to reframe the whole offer, and we told, Philip told us, like, can we lead with more of our female testimonials and female avatars and stuff like that? So actually, one of the angles we went for one of our ads and the offer is, it started all with an interview that Philip did with a mom, a stay-at-home mom, exactly who we're targeting. And he just did an interview with her in Dubai. And once that happened, we sent it to the same page, okay, the same page that we did. Didn't work because the avatar was completely different. So we created a separate page, but it's more female oriented, which is more stay-at-home language, more about helping their husband, more about also like single moms and stuff. So when that happened, we had a whole new like kind of client base that just added to our data because we have never targeted that before. So we got the blue collar, we got the stay-at-home moms and single moms, a lot of single moms. And then we told Philip, okay, we want to, do you remember, who's that guy? The guy with the AI last year arbitrage program?
Richard.
No, not Richard. It's Jordan. Yeah, Jordan. So Jordan Lee. So we saw Jordan Lee. He was, his offer was just AI arbitrage, right, BizOp. And we were thinking like, okay, we want to target corporate people. So he targets corporate people. Like he doesn't target like typical BizOp, which is like broke people. So we told Phil, like, hey, we should tap into that market of corporate people. So Philip went on, he put on the suit, everything. We targeted the corporate people and it did not work at all. And then we were trying to, okay, we changed the script and again and again and again. And it just didn't work. So I looked at Phil, I was like, you know what, you don't look corporate at all, bro. You look like a plumber gangster. That's why it's not working, right? So we had to get some other people to do the angles, do the another page and stuff like that. So when you make your own VSLs and your own offers and you want to target a new market, I would highly suggest the avatar that you have, especially when you're selling B2C. So if you're in BizOp or software and you're selling B2C, the reason why we have 30-minute VSLs is because we're targeting a very unaware person. And if you don't know what that means, basically they don't know that they need this solution really. So, and that's why we can go very broad, and some affiliates here can spend $50,000 a day or $100,000 a day because they're going for a very unaware market. And you're basically telling people, like, if you're a single mom and you just tap the single mom on her shoulder and say, hey, do you feel like how's it been going for you? Like, it's been tough and this, I've been working my job. And you tell her like, okay, why not just do something online? I have this thing here, just make you a couple grand a month. And she'd be like, huh, you can work online. So that kind of person is very unaware of the market, doesn't know anything about the online space. And that's the person where you can really scale. Now, if you want very fast sales, that's not who you go for because it's harder to talk to them. But the reason why we have 30-minute VSLs, because VSLs there is basically to remove a lot of objections, is to tell your story and the story that relates to them. If you've seen this 30-minute VSLs, what, 3/4 of it is the story. The 3/4 of it is the story because you're choosing a very specific avatar and you need to relate to that person on a whole new level. And when you relate to that person, you need a lot of time. And that's why webinars work till today, because you have a lot of time with the person. And the whole point of the long VSL is to tell a story that relates to them and they can see themselves in your shoes so that they will eventually buy the product you're selling. And that's why when you go to B2C, unaware markets, we do 20, 30-minute VSLs. And then you just think of different avatars and different way to package the same thing that speaks to this different person, and you just expand your customer base.
Yeah, David. Yeah, that was good. And I think like that's the big thing too. Like I think a lot of people in this room, when they develop the products out, they're already thinking about the last affiliate they're on, they'll be on. And they try to build a product to their list that's 20, 30,000 people. But when you start developing these specific BSLs, like at any given moment, we work with Jax, work with Johnny, a lot of these big network guys. And when we hand them an offer, we normally hand them like 6 BSLs, like straight off the gate. Like they're all coming from different stuff. You know, I know Lee and Thomas here too. Like if I just hand them 1 BSL, they just think, like, this is going to be how good. But I give them 6, like they go through, they watch the figures a little bit of it, and they decide how they're going to run that traffic. And that's when you're going to get that breakthrough on your set of stuff. Thanks for that. Any questions for Dan specifically around that offer stuff? Like I said, I asked the few of you, anyone got any questions? I know a lot of people here struggle when it comes to the copy side of their offer. At scale, for sure. Like I see a lot of stuff typed. So I'm sure a lot of people will be pulling you to one side, for sure. Like how many people here, what was the last offer? What was the last offer that did really well for you, Tim? What was like the last one that you felt like, I bet one of Abby's?
Not a while ago.
Yeah. It's been a while, right? Yeah. Like, and I think that's where like we're falling down a lot. Where the market really struggles is that a lot of people are coming into this space and they have one VSI, they have one long text sales letter, and I think, and they're really capping themselves to that 1 week that they launch and developing stuff. Like I think, Ryan, you have an offer that we've hit like 100 times and it just sells all the time. Like it's just the most evergreen thing. But I think you rework that affiliate still be, the VSL like 3 or 4 times, and then we just found one that worked. Like there's a lot of guys in here. I'll introduce you to a lot of the SMS guys that just go crazy. Like Johnny's that work with a lot of us. Like they'll take a multiple shots at running it all day long. But you as vendors have to develop more angles, more intros to the VSL, and get, like Dan said, get that effort level way down for the customer, then bringing them in. That's it. Thanks, Dan. Let's give a round of applause to Dan. That's good job.